Czy masz odwagę powiedzieć żonom, dziś stałem tam, gdzie stało domo?
Welcome guys, and today I'd like to talk with you about DST, that's Daylight Saving Time. So this is that procedure which we make twice a year when we change the time from a summertime to a winter time and back from a winter to summer. And it was like in the spring we add 1 hour to our time, and in the fall we go minus 1 hour. And what's all about it was the problem. It was discovered a long time ago, when the people use a lot of energy for the light. Now we use most electricity for computers, for a data center, for IT stuff, and we have energy saving LED lights, so we don't spend such big percent of the energy on a light. We use on different things, for mobility, for a car center, or whatever. But a long time ago, in the 19th century, we used a lot of energy on the light. So people discovered that in the winter the day is shorter than night, and in the summer the day is longer. So maybe we will change the time for 1 hour and we'll save some energy. It was a very old theory, but it was made once, and since that time every year we change the time twice a year. But the problem is that in many places in the world we change the time on a different day. For example, in Europe we change from a winter time to a summer time in the last weekend of April. In the US, in the first weekend of May. And back we change from a summer time to a winter time in Europe in the last weekend of last Saturday of October, and in the US in the first weekend of November. This is difference about 1 week, but it changed a lot of things. So we need to discover the globe, which is divided in 24 time zones. From -11, so we have -12, -11, -10, -9, -8, -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, which is GMT. And then we have +1, +2, +3, +4, +5 up to +12. 24 time zones. And the universal time on time 0 is called GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, or UTC, Universal Time Coordinated. It is also called Zulu time, which is a universal military time. And as you see on a timetable, on a schedule, on a flight tickets, all time for air travel is written like GMT plus or minus how many hours for or ahead of GMT, of Greenwich. And now look like that. We have a time for Germany, which is GMT plus 1, also called Central European Time. Then we have a time 0, and we have a time in the US, GMT -5, which is called Eastern State Time, New York, Washington, etc. Then we have GMT -6, which is Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis. Then we have -7, which is a Mountain State Time. And we have -8, which is a Pacific State Time or a Western State Time. Usually it's called PST, Pacific State Time. LA, San Francisco, Sacramento, Seattle. Okay. So, and for example, we have New York, yeah? We have GMT -5. So from Berlin, it's 1 hour to GMT to London, and next 5 hours to New York. So we have +1, -5, we have 6 hours back. But on the first days of November, we have, when we change the time from a summer to a winter, we have a change, and in the spring we have also change. So let's look on the 1st May. On the 1st of May, there's a problem. Cause why? Because in Europe we change time on the last Saturday of April from winter to summer. And the winter time is a time from a time zone, and the summer time is 1 hour plus to a zone time. So in Berlin on the May 1st, we have +1 hour. So we have GMT +1 and another 1 hour to a summer time. So we have GMT +2. But in the US we have still a winter time. So we have GMT -5. So we have from -5 we have 5 hours plus next 2 hours we have a 7 hour of difference of the time. In this week between the last Saturday of April until the first Saturday of May, we have 1 hour more difference between Europe and US in that short time. Next, after the first Saturday of May, in the US there's a change to a summertime, so we have a standard difference, -6 hours, -7, 8 or 9. And we have that through a whole summer. The next problem we have in October, because on the last Saturday of October in Europe we change the time back to a winter time. So we go back 1 hour to our zone time. For example, in Paris, we are going from GMT +2 to a standard time GMT +1. So we have 1 hour back. So we have winter time in Europe. But in the US we have still summertime. So in the New York we have GMT -4, not -5. And in the summer there was no problem because we have -4 +2, it was still 6 hours. But then when we change from in Paris from GMT +2 to GMT +1, we have only 5 hour difference. So we have 1 hour shorter distance. Of course, after the first Saturday of November, in the US the time will be changed to a winter, and there's still again no problem because we have GMT -5 in New York. New York is just an example. It was the same in Chicago, but it will be the difference between -6 here and -6 and -5. Yeah. So you need to remember that the difference in that short period in a spring is 1 hour longer, and the difference in a short period in a fall is 1 hour shorter. So the difference in the time between in the short period in a spring will be between -7 to -7 in New York, -8 in Chicago and Detroit, -9 in the mountain, and -10 in LA. In that short time between the last Saturday of April and the first Saturday of May. In the fall 1 hour shorter. So the difference to New York will be not 6 hours, but 5 hours. The difference to Chicago will be 6 hours, not 7. The difference to the mountain will be 7 hours, and the difference to LA will be 8 hours. In that short time between last Saturday of October and the first Saturday of November. But this is a very important, because if you will have a flight in that 1 week of spring or that 1 week of fall, that can make a huge distance, because this is 1 hour difference in the time. So we need to remember about that. And the problem is even bigger if you will disable DST and decide that we want to stay with winter time all the time. We don't need DST. We don't want to change to a summertime, because DST is exactly summertime. The situation when we go 1 hour plus than our time zone. I hope it is understandable and you know how DST works and why there's sometimes a difference on the Atlantic Ocean in that time. If you didn't understand it, just go to the start of my vlog and listen again and imagine that on a map or on a globe, or just imagine how the time zone works. Usually, when we travel, when we talk to other people, we use the time Zulu, which is universal time, GMT, which is the simplest way, because we live in many places around the world. And when I make a video and I push it on a website, every vlog goes online at 8 p.m. GMT. 8 p.m. GMT. Because we have subscribers from Asia, subscribers from US, subscribers from Europe. It's impossible to do everything on a one time, so it will be online super convenient way. We just need to use one universal time, so we all know what time, where, and how it works. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna catch you later.
Ty co kobiety chciałbyś zniewolić, pozbawić chciałbyś niewolnej woli. Rządzie biskupie, do was to mówię, wstydzi się was dziś kraj. Nie płaczcie siostry, ducha nie traćcie, uwierzcie w naszą wygraną w walce. Uwierzcie w to, że już niedługo piękniejszy będzie kraj.